What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out once again to the man, the myth, the legend, the brother Robert Mason coming through with a donation once again to the channel via the PayPal. Alright, much respect to him for showing love. I saw your note about Jordan Poole, man. I know that's your guy, man. I know it's your guy, but he fucking up right now, man. He fucking up. Off the court and on the court. You know, maybe he'd be better off going somewhere else, man. You know. But anyway, man, I want to get into this video. I appreciate the love you guys show me. And might remember yesterday I did a video talking about Howard Stern, right? Now, I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comment section below. You might remember what he was saying in a recent show to his sidekick, Robin Laughing Hyena Quivers. He said about the Knicks, they put me courtside, and the black players won't come over and say hello to me, but they go over to Spike Lee. And she said, they don't acknowledge you at all? No, I'll be sitting next to Tracy Morgan or Chris Rock. You know, they seat you where they seat, they seat you where they seat you. And a lot of times when I'm there, I'm next to Tracy Morgan, who is so funny. And he's sitting there, and like a couple of the players will come over. They like give him that bro shake and stuff. And I'm like, these guys should hug me too. I mean, what am I? I grew up in a black neighborhood, you know what I mean? I mean, they should know that, but I get ignored. So, J.R. Smith, former NBA player, came out and said basically what I said, and he was responding to Taylor Rooks, you know what I'm saying, who was kind of saying, well, just saying what I was saying, and it's common sense, saying something like I've just created. It's just common sense. Taylor Rooks said, Howard Stern is one of the most talented interviewers of all time. With that being said, this is a ridiculous stance. Many of them simply have no idea who he is, and people not knowing you isn't an insult. And then J.R. Smith said, I'm sorry, but what basketball player listens to him? LOL, I don't think I've met one, black or not. Man, look, the last basketball player that the generation that probably listened to Howard Stern was playing with Michael Jordan. Facts. Look, Howard Stern was huge back in the 90s. Huge. I said in my video yesterday. Huge. Had a movie came out, Private Parts. Hell, I might watch it again today. He had a show, radio show, huge back then. I think for many years it was #1 rated show in the country in his time slot. He had the show on E! Network. Frequent guest on Letterman, sometimes Leno, on award show. Remember he came out as Fart Man or some crap, some stupid shit on MTV. He was huge in the 90s. He was controversial. And I said this before, he is sort of a precursor, along with him along with Don Imus, Rush Limbaugh, some other guys too. What's that guy that used to be out of Florida? Man, he was a shock jock too. But anyway, they were pretty much a precursor to what we see today in sports. They stole a lot of their techniques, which is to say the most outlandish thing for views and hits and clicks. Sometimes they don't even believe what they're saying. They just say it because they know it's going to get a lot of traction. All right? Now, a lot of stuff that Howard Stern did was very controversial. And a lot of stuff that he did in today's world was racist. The blackface. Some of the comments he's made were racist. Some of the impressions that he made were racist. You know what I'm saying? Make like these weird impressions of old school black men and shit. And have Robin just laughing. Howard. But having said all of that, he's 66 years old. What is he, 60? No, he's older than that. He's You have to be close to 70. Bro, they don't know who you are. You've been on satellite radio for almost 20 years, which has actually hurt your audience. And, they don't know who you are. They know who Spike Lee is. Spike Lee is interwoven into the culture. They know who Tracy Morgan is. Tracy Morgan has been interwoven in our culture for almost 30 years. Movies, comedy specials. The black community, the so-called black community, they will always know who Tracy Morgan is. They will always know who Chris Rock is. They will always know who Eddie Murphy is. They will always know who Dave Chappelle is. These people are interwoven into the culture. Unfortunately, there are some black entertainers who, because of age and because of some of their core audience, they're not as beloved or well known as they once were. Now, look, me personally, I love Sammy Davis Jr. I'm old enough to remember a world when he was still here. But because of his audience, because of what he was known for doing, singing a lot of songs that were not really part of the black culture, but that was his thing. He liked singing a lot of those crooning type songs. That was his thing. Tap dancing. That has become synonymous with, bootlicking. I don't think that's fair, because I think tap dancing is a brilliant art form, but it's become synonymous with something negative. And also because of the passage of time. We are a culture that I think has become even more obsessed with youth. We become a culture that belittles things, older people, ageism, this weird tendency to think that everything in the past was inferior. As a consequence of that, anti-intellectualism, not knowing, and I think this is by design with our community, and I think as a whole now, not even just our community, there's this tendency to not have an interest in knowing our history. And it's not even just the black community. A lot of Americans, we don't really have an interest in wanting to know about our past. And one of the big problems about that, when you don't know about your past, I hate to get on my soapbox about other stuff, but there's this saying: those who don't know their history are bound or doomed to repeat it. And we're seeing some of those signs now. But anyway, getting back to the point of the video. Yeah, man, they don't know who you are, Howard Stern. I hate to put it to you, but you're sort of irrelevant to the young people. Now, the older people, yeah, they know who you are. But the people who play for the Knicks, man, they don't know who you are, man. And J.R. Smith just repeated it, and Taylor Rooks, and anybody that has a brain knows that's the case, man. So anyway, tell me what you guys think.